Welcome back to the UNRUGGABLE podcast. We are your hosts. I am Moishi.
And I'm Ella, and today we are talking with Ms. CryptoMom about DeFi and the power of blockchain and all the amazing things she's achieved. So let's get into it. Lovely to meet you. I'm going to start by asking about your pinned tweet, which is one of the most fantastically uplifting and inspiring things I've seen on Twitter. It really is. So for the benefit of our listeners who probably won't have seen it yet, you wrote in October that my biggest flex this year was walking away from my banking career of 16 years to go into crypto full time. Retired my parents, and now my goal is to retire my siblings and get them working for themselves. NFTs and DeFi are breaking down generational curses of poverty. And I would just love to hear the story behind that tweet, because it is honestly, it's all of our dreams, right? We all want to do what you've achieved. So please tell us how you got to that point. Tell us your story.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. My tweet was something I did without even, I put together without even, second thought. I was so excited about the fact that I had left my banking career of over 16 years, and I was walking into freedom. I felt that a big weight had been taken off of my shoulders. The year before, my daughter had introduced us, the whole family, to crypto blockchain technology. Although she had been researching blockchain technology for several years before then, I was very adamant that she should focus on computer science because that's what she went to college to study. But she was telling me how the new technology was going to be disruptive. And as a minority, because we had been left behind in the 80s during the internet, I mean, the tech boom 80s and 90s, I didn't want to feel left behind again. I wanted to get ahead of a technology on the bottom at the bottom level of, as a pioneer in the industry and make a change for myself. So yeah, I decided I was going to walk away from banking, and I did that. I walked away from 16 years of traditional banking into decentralized finance. That was the reason I made that tweet.
What can I say? That's so powerful. And you're like a lot of other mums in the space, being introduced to the concept of crypto by your kids. I'm kind of lucky and also unlucky in that my kids are a lot younger, but it must be fantastic to have your kids at that age where they can really be an inspiration and bring new things to the table. And I'm sure she has a fantastic career ahead of her too. Um, so
Yeah.
talk to us about family. I mean, your Twitter name is CryptoMom, which is fantastic, and you mentioned your siblings as well. And I really found the family focus that really resonated with me. Crypto space feels like it's a young guy's space, really. So finding another mom and a very family focused person there. How do you balance the demands of your new career with your family life?
Oh, that's a good question. Both my daughters, actually, I have a 24-year-old and I have a 20-year-old. They're both so much into the crypto space. The oldest was she got into NFTs way before people were talking about NFTs, early 2020, and she told me NFTs were going to be the next big boom, something to look for. And she worked on the Mick Jagger NFT drop. The youngest, was for charity. The youngest just got into the space because we all did. And my husband has always been into, crypto trading. So as a family, we enjoyed the space, and we found that we were spending more time together when the pandemic happened. The girls actually, Cynthia had moved out, so she came back home, and we just found out that we just are at our best when we work together, especially when we're talking about something that we all love, which is obviously crypto. So as a family, we make each other better, and a lot of people noticed that, and they've started reaching out to us. We've had the likes of CBS do a documentary including us because of the family dynamic in crypto. So yeah, and other TV channels have reached out to us like Lifetime. So it's interesting that people like to, that people want to see families, want to see a whole unit rather than what they're used to, just, Gen Z's in the space.
I think people they want to see reality. I mean, it's super inspiring to me. And, my daughters are younger, but I'm thinking of the future and I'm thinking about where I want to be in 10, 15 years' time. And it's where you are. So, I think that's why people want to hear your story. It makes perfect sense to me. And, I'm so glad that people are reaching out to you and connecting on that level as well. It's lovely to hear. So, you're talking in the tweet about people who are unbanked and the potential for crypto to be a real positive force for good in society. You're kind of hinting at something that's an absolutely massive topic. And I just wondered if you could talk to us a little bit about that. How do you see crypto really benefiting society and people that have traditionally been excluded?
Okay. And to answer your question about siblings, I have my siblings. I got them into crypto. I forgot to answer that portion. Yeah. My siblings live in the UK actually. I grew up in Kenya, born and raised. I lived 18 years in Kenya. Left the country to go, like most people want to go and, via and check out, what Europe or whatever overseas life is like. And there I met my husband. So I've lived in Africa. I've lived in Europe 10 years. I speak fluent German, English, Swahili. Um, I love the family dynamic. Now, to answer your question about the unbanked, what blockchain technology is going to do, or what traditional finance was not able to do, is not able to do. Traditional finance has been around for over a century. Most of the people that only get access to banks are people like, especially in countries like, where I grew up, or, in Kenya. And even people that come to America, like I have my cleaning lady who comes over and she can't get paid through bank, or I have to go get her cash because she doesn't have a social security number. Banks require you to have a certain level of paperwork for you to even access the banks. Now, with peer to peer, which is what crypto is, you don't we take away the middleman, or there's no middleman. You go directly and do the transaction without a middleman, which makes this even better. So for me, what I've been able to achieve, I've been sending money to my family in Africa with Western Union for years. I can tell you since the mid 90s when I left Kenya, or even any other form of payment that I've used to as a middleman. But when I found out that crypto doesn't require middleman, and that you can actually just open a wallet, families opens starts a wallet, and everything is direct, I knew this was going to disrupt the financial industry. So to me, the 1.7 billion people in this world who are unbanked, that's a lot of people. So for anyone to think crypto is just maybe a trend and it's gonna go away, I'm sad to say it's not. I'm actually happy to say not sad. I'm sad to say to those who think it's going away, but happy for those who believe it's gonna stay.
That's beautiful. 1.7 billion is an insane number, and no wonder we're seeing some of the, how can I put it, the traditional finance industry sort of fighting back a little bit. And I guess you've worked in that world. You come from a banking background. What do you foresee the next moves of the traditional finance world to be to react against this startup industry that's threatening to take away their position?
Well, this this morning I read an interview that I was very interested in, because I always go back and I want to see what's going on in the bank even after I've left the bank. And to be honest with you, nothing's changed. What I still know is they have realized that the writing is on the wall, that blockchain technology is here to stay. today, one of the largest banks, Goldman Sachs, did a transaction, first over the counter digital transaction involving Bitcoin. And this tells you that banks are now they are interested in getting involved with crypto for their investors who don't actually want to hold the crypto, but they want the banks to be involved in the crypto. So it's getting really exciting, I would say, because the blockchain technology as it is going to become part of the banks are going to need it because it's transparent. um it's something that the banks really need. It's the software they've had is old, so obviously the banks are looking into the technology aspect of it, and most banks have actually, like, JP Morgan Chase is one of them. So if the top banks are looking at blockchain technology, it's a matter of time for them to adopt the technology.
I'm glad you mentioned JP Morgan. I think I read something about that recently, because as we know, there's a huge problem with the speed and the cost of international transfers, and crypto has a real potential to disrupt that. I guess it's just about who's going to catch on quick and who's going to be in the right position when that time comes. So, we've also got some other interesting things that you're doing, some really, really cool stuff. You've been into NFTs, not just crypto. You do quite a lot of work consulting and advising. Now, Moishi, I don't know how well you know Moishi. Moishi does a bit of working with NFT projects as well. I think now's the time to let Moishi take over and ask about those aspects of your career.
Yeah, I've been following you for a while now. Um, yeah, I think we first met when I saw there was a person who reached out to me on DMs claiming to be you, and I spotted them as a fake account and tweeted about them to you, to report them.
Oh yeah, when my article with CNBC went viral in December, the number of scams or people that have been scamming people using my name is absurd. I have reached out to Twitter and I'm like, you know what? Something has to be done because this is messing up my brand. I didn't know the article was gonna go viral. But again, it caught me unawares, and because of that tweet, CNBC reached out to me because of that tweet. So a lot of people I've talked to a lady who's lost what $6,500 because she thought she was speaking to Miss CryptoMom one, or but they're actually talking to scammers. So I'm glad. Thank you for reaching out to me. I remember that, Moshi. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to get Twitter to give you that blue check.
I know. Somebody gotta get Twitter to do it. Well, they invited me to host a Twitter Spaces at South by Southwest, and I'm like, okay, y'all are inviting me. Can somebody find out who works in the verification department? And I guess the departments don't talk with each other, so sooner or later it's gonna happen.
Sooner or later. Best of luck with that. It's
I know, right?
yeah, it's difficult, and it's surprising how many scammers also have blue check marks as well. They have
That
these.
is
There's a lot of them out
crazy.
there.
Yeah. Did you hear the story? Or did you read yesterday that they're sending out phishing links, and some guy from Bored Ape Yacht Club lost $900,000
Yeah,
because of one of those links. With like a guy has a verified account, but it's fake verified account. So yeah,
it's
it's crazy.
it's actually quite crazy. Is that I believe it's the account that scammed him. I actually tweeted about I think about 2 days before prior to that happening, how that account's fake and was advertising as being a founder of Bored Apes. Um,
Wow. Did you
yeah,
tweet that?
yeah. I have to check it, go through. I mean, wouldn't be the first time that I found one of these. If you spend a little time on Twitter and you know a little bit, if you spend more than 30 seconds
Yeah.
on on looking into something, you could usually see that it's fake. And the part that's so crazy about this whole space, and all the FUD that people who outside of NFTs speak about NFTs, how it's a scam and all that. The one part that they don't get is that most of these people who are owning these $1 million NFTs, they can be broke in real life, have no money in their checking account, but they will hold on to these apes, hodl, 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 diamond hands. And then it's like, when you get those tweets about ape just changed my life when they dropped the coin. How did that change your life? Just if that changed your life, why didn't you sell? Like, you need to sell then. There's no shame in taking profits. Like,
Oh, my sentiments exactly. So it's interesting what's happening in the NFT space, and I'm glad I wear two hats. So when the NFT space gets the way it's getting now, because a lot of the guys, and two people actually, not just one person, lost money. There's a guy who also had, and he's a founder of a project. I think they say he's a founder of a DeFi platform, which I would never invest in anything that the founder has gotten
yeah.
his funds compromised. That tells
It's
me that
it's quite crazy how many people out there are doing it all for a quick buck. And in this space, honesty, transparency is key, and it's your reputation that ultimately will do big things. So make a quick buck. To if you're have any influence of any size, it's like can I make a project, drop 1,000 pieces, get some Fiverr art, get throw together a landing page, throw together a Discord, hire a community manager and a social media manager. I can make myself probably 6 figures doing something like that. But as your reputation then is pulled, because when you're not dedicating time to it, and you're not dedicating a real something to it, you now have however many NFTs you sold, you have that many people who know you're a fraud, and all the people who are watching it and their friends and family. And it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. You've got to build something real. You got there's a potential to make a real life out here. In Web3.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
A lot
see.
of people. Go ahead.
I see that you advise projects. And it's I'm curious, like how when you have a project that approaches you, what is your process? How do you vet them? What are the red flags for you?
So I'm very particular about NFT projects because I've seen what's happening with even celebrities coming to the space that are supposed to, wanting to
Especially.
be here. Yeah, wanting to be here long term, and they don't. So they walk away. They walk away after they've made $2.1 million. The last one that several ones, but one that I remember that comes to mind, Lena Rhodes, and I think she deactivated her Twitter. She had about 2.5 million followers, but her project launched, they made money, and I guess she walked away from the project. But because a lot of people did not like how it was, that what happened, then that's going to happen. But for me, I get to know the team. I do not work with teams that are not doxed. You gotta be doxed. So meaning I don't work with anonymous teams at all. That's one thing I look at. And number two, I want to know what is the utility behind your project. I like real world application kind of utility. When I worked with Boss Beauties, I was very I'm pro women in tech, and I looked at the history that Lisa Meyer, the founder, had in bringing women in tech even before NFT space. She wasn't even thinking about NFTs when she had my social canvas. For 10 years, she'd been doing what she loves to do, waking up and just helping more women get into the space. Another project that I worked with, Women and Weapons, Sarah wasn't even looking to, to make however much money she made. She's an artist who just loves art. So that's one thing. When I meet with the founders, I connect immediately by checking out, like, are you here for the long term? Because blockchain is forever. 100 years from now, we're going to remember the first projects that were on the blockchain. 2021 was a monumental year. 2022 is going to be a monumental year. So anything you put on the blockchain has to, to me, has to have value. I wouldn't want to be associated with a project that's going to be a rug pull. So apart from that, I look at the community, like, are they able to build a community? Like, how can I help this person? If they are really a good artist, obviously people will rally with them. And that's one of the projects I'm working with right now. The Royals is doing, they have and the artist has done not just one project. She's done, this would be her second project, but she has a community that knows she's here for a long time. She's not here to stay for a year or two and just make art and go home. But so projects like that, I really, I love working with projects like that. But for me, the founders is make or break. I have to connect. If I don't connect with the founder, I'm not interested.
I wholeheartedly agree with everything you're saying. It really does come down to what the founder's long term position is in the project and in the space. Because it's very funny. Floyd Mayweather recently tweeted about making his first NFT project. That it's like to people who've been in the space and know that he already officially put one out that he probably didn't even know about. It was he probably just had some people come over to him and say, "Hey, we want to use your name and we're going to pay you this money," and he was like, "Sure." And then they tweeted out for him. And it's so funny to watch this stuff happen, and it's like they have no clue. They come in there, you watch, you watch.
I didn't know that he tweeted that. I met, see, last year during the Bitcoin Miami conference, I had the pleasure of meeting him and his team and his mom. So I mean, I was hoping they would reach out to me and ask me questions, but I guess they didn't. But that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many celebrities, who came into it in different ways. You have people who did really, really well in the NFT space, and you have people, I remember there was the Trey Songz did those Binance mystery boxes. Those flopped. And you had Tory Lanez who did it really well.
He did it. Yeah, I think he was one of the first ones that actually did an excellent job.
Yeah, but that was with his music, right? His music ones did well because that was what he did. Mm-hmm. He did a nice, collaboration. But then he did another project which I minted, and that project didn't do too well. His I forgot the name of it.
But it was dogs. A token, right?
Yeah, it's an NFT project.
His token didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's sad to see. I mean, right now, you have Floyd Mayweather just tweeted out now, the Mayweverse.
I saw. Now I'm just now looking. Okay, 5,000 NFTs.
Right.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't get a lot of people are not too. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of hype. From what I'm looking, it was tweeted 23 hours ago.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back, like if you scroll through, he there was another project that he was promoting a while back. He also deleted a lot of tweets, but there's screenshots of them floating around there. Seen a lot of people speaking about it. There was also famous Ty Lopez. I don't know if you saw it recently. What was that, a week or two ago?
Oh no! Anytime Ty Lopez gets into something, it's time for it's everybody and their mamas coming to just take advantage of the space. Like the people the real artists, the real one-on-one artists, are not getting any attention. Yet people like Ty Lopez come and charge 3 ETH for an NFT to play one-on-one basketball with him.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah, for sure. And you watch that happen, and it just it's really sad to see. They use their names and their fan bases. People who have that cross. They're fans of the person. Then oftentimes it's not even them. It's just their team. But it's like, did you approve this or not? That's my question. Because you have Eminem buying a Bored Ape, right? Did he buy it? Does he know how to use MetaMask, or was that just his team that did that? You
Mm.
you had Bieber minting a bunch of full send NFTs. You know, you have
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Bieber bought an ape.
Wow.
It's like, when you watch, Bieber bought a floor ape for like 500,000 or something like that. I forgot the numbers. It might have been more than that. It was
Now,
something.
the thing with that is, let me ask you, Moish, one thing. Do you really think they're buying those? Or because what I'm hearing is that the BAYC club is reaching out to them and giving them those NFTs for free and telling them to tweet about it. Is there anything transaction wise showing that he bought it?
Oh, not at all. As a matter of fact, the famous Stephen Curry purchase that really pushed Bored Apes like really up. That big Stephen
Yeah.
Curry purchase. So I think it was MoonPay that transferred like into his account. I don't want to get misquoted here. I don't
Okay.
recall. Yeah, it's always like how that works, right? You're on your own podcast and you misquote
Yeah.
something and they're gonna come back for you to bite you with that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't recall. I think there was one company that does transactions. I think it might have been MoonPay that
Yeah, it could
transferred
be MoonPay.
over a hundred um transferred over, I think it was $150,000 like worth of Ethereum into his
Uh-huh.
account, and then he purchased one with that account. Like, you could see it on the blockchain. It was transferred into his account by this company, and then he just bought it with that money.
Oh, that's what's happening. Because a friend who's a celebrity friend told me, and I don't think they meant to say it, but I guess it just slipped, that he knows his friend was approached to by the Board Ape Yacht Club for and they actually gave him one of those apes so he can promote that he holds it.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they do that. It's
That's a
they
marketing technique that's making people fear of missing out into a $200,000 project that I personally wouldn't put that kind of money in an NFT at all. I
right.
wouldn't.
I mean, the question is also about what inherent value does it have.
Exactly.
I'll tell I'm my agency, my marketing agency, NFT.NYC. We're working with a company right now, a project that's promoting healthcare workers, right? And
Yeah.
their approach that they had was very simple. There is
Hmm.
135 million healthcare workers in the world at
Yeah.
least. And for most of them, they're not involved in crypto. There's so many places where they need a profile picture, they don't have one. For PFP projects, for regular people, what does your PFP do for you? What are you using it for? If you're in a job where that image that represents who you are, and you take that they took healthcare workers and turn them into healthcare heroes. They turn them from people into superheroes, right? Turn them into a comic book theme. They had a great artist. Now they're building up their community, and like that idea of taking the simple PFP project that would be regularly where's the utility, and it's like, no, there's a utility for what we're trying to do. We want to onboard people that don't exist in this industry, give them something they stand about, and actually bring them on. Versus when you're just a ape. If you're an ape, what are you a part of? You're an ape. It's to that hype that built up around Bored Apes is crazy. It's really crazy. Um, can't really explain it. You can't really explain why they blew up, what they did. You could look at it. It was I think it was Pranksy who minted about 1,200 of them. That he just stumbled onto them accidentally. And you get
1,200? Oh,
yeah.
I know the guy. I know election mad has like what 39, or now he has 41. I didn't
So
know Pranksky had that many.
see, I remember I was working at a NFT news blog at the time.
Mhm.
I was sitting at my office. I have three screens open, and I have my tweet deck there, and I was
Mm.
monitoring anything that he would tweet out. Of course, it was on my list. And
Yeah.
Pranksy tweeted out, just minted. This must have been in August. He tweeted out, just minted 1,200 Bored Apes. Found this cool collection.
So
And
August, it probably was maybe before August. One of my friends got about five of them around. April, so May, or it could be August. Maybe he got them on the higher end. But I know when my friend bought them, he paid for a little bit under $1,000.
Yeah, so they were really cheap then, right? So he got
Yeah.
them. Yeah, so Pranksy got 1,200, and Pranksy tweeted about it, and his bag went up also, which is a whole other question about that also, right? Because if Pranksy buys 1,200 and tweets about it, and now they rise in value because of his tweet, that's a whole other question about market manipulation by influencers who all secure each other's bag. They're in a group chat together, and they're like, okay, guys, you guys all want to make 100K? All right, we're all going to buy into this project and tweet about it. And it's they're not even, there's a lot of projects that don't even pay for promotion, and they just blow up by themselves, and then they also tank by themselves, and the founders are sitting there twiddling their thumbs thinking, where did we go right, and then where did we go wrong? We just have no clue what happened here.
And that's the thing that I'm looking at, and I'm wondering if we're going to bring in Web 2. If we're going into Web 3, it's supposed to be inclusion. We're supposed to there shouldn't be this gap between the top projects. I think in my mind it should be a level playing field, and it doesn't feel like it, because I see them all the way up here, and not the floor price wasn't convenient enough for a lot of people to get in. But when they started going up, obviously Yuga Labs, however they did their marketing, it went up so quick and left a lot of people behind. Now the projects that just joined them, they just got into their companies, Meebits and
CryptoPunks.
Wild of Women. Say it again.
Also CryptoPunks.
Oh, and CryptoPunks
that
I was
was
just wondering,
yeah.
why wouldn't they just take like a project that has a 1 ETH floor? Why are they going? And anyway, I can't dictate what they do, but
I mean,
to me,
to me, it seems like a great move on their part. From
it is. You don't feel like they could have probably maybe mixed it up a bit with the floor prices.
I mean, sure, but now they solidified it. Like they run NFTs. Yuga Labs right now,
Correct.
single-handedly, their combined floor price between just CryptoPunks and Bored Apes together is above $500,000 right now.
Wow,
which is insanity, right? You're talking about
It is.
I remember when CryptoKitties were first made, and they were made on
You
Bitcoin.
were there then?
It's 2017. I was in crypto, and I watched them make CryptoKitties, and I was like, okay, interesting. These non-fungible tokens. I wonder what they have to do. How they're going to play out with cryptocurrency. And then they ported them over after Vitalik made Ethereum, which was also really funny. Vitalik made Ethereum because he was frustrated that a video game took away his levels, and he's like, I don't like it that I spent all this time in this game, and they took away my points. So he made Ethereum. That's basically his motivation for it.
Really?
Yeah, which is also really funny because that guy's a genius. 28 years old, and
No.
his mind
He
is
is.
something else.
Yes, no, he is. He's the genius. After I don't know any genius in the last 50 years. He's probably one of the most renowned. He's non-genius to me.
Yeah, I have on my dream podcast list. I have Elon Musk and Vitalik together. That would be a nice conversation.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's like he made Ethereum, and then CryptoKitties got ported over to Ethereum, and then Larva Labs, which I was following for years before that, they were actually set to release a Android launcher that was supposed to dominate the entire Android ecosystem. They're very rich, the creators of Larva Labs. They didn't need CryptoPunks. They released them for free at first. I could have minted one back then for free. No gas.
Wow, 27 was that 2017 or
Yeah.
what year was that?
Yeah, that's 2017.
So
I remember.
Moish, you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I remember when it dropped, and you know, it was it was very interesting. It was you know the Matt Hall and John
Mm-hmm.
Watkinson, right? They had so many other projects, and like these CryptoPunks, they were just like they were always on the forefront of what was going on. So when they
Mm-hmm.
saw the NFT, and then they saw crypto, and then they saw Crypto Kitties, and then they were like, okay, I'm gonna hop into this, and they just made a project that was a joke. It was eight by was it 8 by 8 pixels, something like that. 24
Mm-hmm.
pixels total, something like that. Their little project that is completely on chain. Um, they literally they put no effort into it. They kept 1,000 for them. Their tokenomics, their NFT tokenomics that they have would never survive nowadays, right? Like nobody would be okay with it.
How
Keeping
many did they mint? 10,000?
they minted 10,000. They kept 1,000 for themselves.
Oh, wow. And
Right.
this is, wow,
This is CryptoPunks.
2017.
Yeah,
Yeah,
CryptoPunks.
CryptoPunk.
In August, CryptoPunks were at like 40K, and I remember I approached like some people. I approached my dad also, and I was like, you should probably mortgage your house and buy as many CryptoPunks as you can. Like this will really go crazy. And then a month later, I was like, hey, it's at 140K. It's not too late. Like I see this going up to 500,000 easily. Um, you know, and then a month later, I was like, hey, it's at 250,000. It's not too late.
Wow.
And then
Let me,
I watched this happen, and it's like, and then um, a month later, it was up to 450K. I think that's where it like topped out. And it stood up around there for a while. Went down to 350 and it hovered between 350 and 450 for a while until the great flippening. Not ETH to Bitcoin, but
yeah,
Bored Apes over
Bored Apes
over
to
over
Punks.
CryptoPunks. And Bored Apes really really took over. Like buying CryptoPunks was such a ownership move. Like
It
they
was.
mark their territory as they are number one.
And my daughter told me about CryptoPunks in 2020. They were not even $1,000 for one.
Yeah, yeah. Meaning they didn't like in December 2020, the floor price was around 120 bucks.
Oh my God.
So in December of 2021, I put out a tweet like screenshotting what the floor price looked like back then, and I was like, just a
Wow.
year
I need
ago.
to check your tweets out. I need to check your historical tweets. You'll be tweeting some good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It was a it was a it was a lot. I was really on to the news back then. I was running media and marketing for a news agency, a news blog.
Yeah.
So I needed to be on top of that, and you know, I learned a lot about the space and understanding the way projects work. Beanie Maxi, right? Like I was in
Mhm.
I was in spaces with him. I've heard him talk. I've had conversations with him. And the guy always came off as scummy, you know. And there was a bunch of other accounts. There's about 12 accounts that I still believe he's still active in some of them. Um,
Mhm.
that all had a very similar style in the way they were written. For a
Okay.
while, I believed that he was using as a voice modulator, and it was like a team of people who were directing all his accounts.
Mm.
Turns out it's really all one guy who's directing all these accounts. And there's a lot of bad actors that I've seen. I had probably pretty good intuition in the space. Watching people
Yeah,
who are
he was affiliated with one project that didn't, I mean, his name's not affiliated with credible projects. So I don't know too much about Beanie.
yeah. I mean, but you go through all the big influencers. There's a guy Floor, right? Floor. He's popular. Any ad that he puts out, the project is a project I'm going to stay away from. There's projects that like I'm going to mint, and then I see a
Oh,
big
I've heard of him.
influencer.
Yeah, yeah. I know who you're talking about. He's verified, right?
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah, I
course,
know.
and they all get themselves verified. And you have these all these guys are suddenly ex esport gamers who or ex NFL players, and they all have
Or
a
X,
fake
or X maybe they poker players.
ex poker player exactly, and they don't have their NFT verified. They just have which is very funny because like people still fall for it. I've seen, they don't have the hexagon. I've seen people take a Bored Ape and then they put it inside of a hexagon picture inside of the circle. So you have that like white, weird hexagon, and like it clearly is photoshopped. You could see it. You could click on it, it doesn't go. But people's due diligence is so little in the space that they don't do that. It's there's real true degens out here. They buy something off of a tweet they saw from an influencer that they heard of once because he's verified with a blue check and has a bunch of followers. I could create a dozen of these fake influencers and get them verified and make a whole group. And it's honestly, it could probably make money off of it. Make a business out of that. You have so many projects paying for promotion from influencers who they do their shill giveaways and they all retweet each other and they all buy fake botted comments and botted everything. And it's such a scam. It's so sad to see.
Yeah, I think what this guy who does calls them out, Zach XBT, I think he goes by. You know him, right?
Yeah,
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's one of
Absolutely
the
amazing.
on-chain detectives.
Yes, that guy is. If we listen to that, if we actually follow through with what he's with the projects to stay away from, nobody's gonna be minting Mayweather because they know he's just here for a money grab. But the dude is a billionaire, and I'm like, why the heck are you doing that? Why are you coming for a quick cash grab? We know your attention span may not even last 2 years. You're not going to be in Discord talking to the people who are holding your NFTs. You're not going to be around, in real life, events where people want to meet and greet. So why the cash grab? To me, it doesn't make sense when they are like overloaded and they just come and take advantage of other people. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's it's really crazy. It doesn't make sense at all. These projects they really need direction. They just there's no blueprint though. There really is no blueprint, and it's really I saw a really funny tweet. I forgot who it was that posted it. Who said advertise on LinkedIn for a NFT developer with 10 years experience, and I got a ton of responses.
Of course.
And it's like, you can't possibly have that experience because it doesn't exist.
No, you don't. Because, we haven't even been around that long, right?
Right. Yeah, there's people who will claim that, and there's people, it's like when I get blocked by an account, I call that, my badge of honor. And
yeah, I've been blocked. Yeah, I've been blocked by a Bitcoin maximalist. So, Peter McCormack, the thing is, I'm a mom. I'm just going to tell it like it is. And when Elon Musk tweeted last year about Dogecoin and all the Bitcoin maxis was so upset. Why isn't he tweeting about Bitcoin? I was like, y'all just need to get a grip. Elon's going to do what Elon's going to do. Bitcoin is going to continue up or down whether we have Elon or not. You don't need him to push this market up. So I think he didn't like that tweet. Block. I'm like, okay, thank you. Ooh, I must be saying something, huh?
Wait, Elon didn't respond to you?
Nah. No, he didn't. I'm talking about when the tweet remember when he was tweeting about Dogecoin a lot last year, annoying everybody, and the market. Dogecoin was actually moving up. A lot of people got their grandmas in Dogecoin because of Elon Musk. So the Bitcoin maximalist people got kind of ticked off by that. They're like, why the heck is he focusing on a meme token instead of one with fundamentals like Bitcoin? So obviously Peter McCormack being one of the biggest Bitcoin pro maximalist people, anything against Elon Musk at that point was he was like anything against what he was saying to Elon, he would block you immediately. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's it's kind of funny how Twitter. I just people a lot of my friends aren't on Twitter. My IRL friends, and Twitter is something that I only really started really using around when the pandemic came out. Like a new movie, and I it was interesting. I described Twitter, how people's brains work on there. And I would say Twitter is, when you speak, you have a conversation, there's your thought, and then there's that filter before it comes out your mouth. So Twitter lives in a space before that filter. It just whatever your first possible thought is, just gets tweeted out.
Exactly. To me, it seems like that way sometimes. I got into a lot of us. I think the pandemic ushered us even more into the space with Twitter, because I had my Twitter since 2015 and I wasn't using it as much. But pandemic brought all of us out. Let's talk about crypto, and we were all bullish because Bitcoin had dropped to what 3,600, and we wanted to get in at those low levels. Ethereum was at $300. I think when I got it, it was actually was it 250? So everybody that was bullish about how the future of crypto was gonna go came out and they got a Twitter account. And I'm telling you, it was everybody. It was a good time to get into crypto. 2020. Right now, the space is getting convoluted with again the people who are just here. It's a wild, wild west, and it's gonna take a minute before we get out the bad people. We distinguish the bad from the good, and I hope the people who are here for the long term, people who are here to build, um, end up getting you know, getting recognized
For
for the
sure.
project they're building.
Yeah, I wanted you do DeFi strategy, you do the consulting, advertising. I saw you have a newsletter. Props to you for all the time that you are able to put into this, because that's fantastic. Do you have a team, or is this all you?
It is an ebook. And the thing is, I'm more so into DeFi than I am into NFTs. I am one of my friends that I was bought introduced me to the board ape, so was telling me about NFTs before I got in. I invested heavily into his DeFi project, and last year he just felt like he wasn't focusing too much in DeFi. Obviously made enough money, or a lot, I would say made a lot of money with NFTs because he bought the punks, the bored apes, the mutant apes, and he just wanted to do something else. So I began managing his project for him, and then he oversaw it to me. So now I took over the project. It's a DeFi project, and it's one of the fast crypto sports betting platforms, and our pools go live next month in April. So between NFT consulting, I'm also full-time CEO of bundlesbets.com. And yes, I do have a team behind me. My two daughters are full-time working with me on the NFT side, which is under Gentry Media. And I also have three other family members that help me on both the DeFi and the NFT space.
Ah, very cool, very cool. I love that you do with your family. I see pictures of you here with Gary V.
Oh yeah, that was last year during Art Basel. One of the founders, see how I even got to get invited. One of the founder friends that I advised for, Sarah and Jake. Jake wasn't gonna make it, so they asked if I could, go instead of Jake, and he happened to actually last minute he was able to make it. So we went as a one happy family, women and weapons team, and it was amazing. It was I got to meet all the big wigs in the space. Not the big wigs, but Gary V, obviously that's one person that in the space I think is doing some good. He gets a lot of slack. I don't know why. I guess people are like he's into this for himself, V friends and all, but I think he helps other projects get recognition too. What would you say?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, with all these what their actual motivations are. He seems like a genuine guy. I would love to meet him. I'll be at NFT.NYC. He should be there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll
so
be there too.
awesome. I'm going to be speaking there, so hopefully
Oh,
we'll get to meet there.
oh, that's cool. So, are you based in the UK?
No, no, I'm based in the U.S. and Israel.
Oh yeah, you did mention that. Oh, and I want to visit Israel, by the way. So you're gonna
Please,
tell me about.
yeah, they'll be awesome.
Yeah, I just was checking out the flights. Funny enough, my mom went in 2018 and she's been telling me about always like you gotta go, you gotta go. So this year I'm checking and it's 19 hours from Texas. I'm like, how is it 19 hours from Texas? And when I fly to London, it's 8 hours. And from London to Jerusalem could only be 3 hours. So I'll probably take that route. But yeah, I need to get back with you after this so we can talk about what I need, places I need to go, what I need to see.
Oh, for sure. Listen, my DMs are always open. I feel like I could talk to you for hours. It's we've been running here for an hour now, and we could do this all night.
I know, right?
Yeah, listen, it's been really incredible getting to hear your story. You have a fascinating story, a great career, and you're there's a lot. I see what was it Bundles Bets is launching in 2022. Your mobile app.
Yeah, the mobile app is launching 2022, should be quarter 3. Right now, we're focusing on just getting the pools live. We are getting a lot, people are hyped about it because we have not only soccer, we're going to add cricket, we have NBA, of course, NFL, and hockey as well. So I'm excited. I see that going to 50 million market cap. When I took over the project, it was barely a million market cap. So
Wow,
I'm excited about that.
that's amazing.
Thank
Listen,
you.
good luck, and remember when you hit that when you become a billionaire one day, remember that you know me.
Oh
And
my God, you know what? Record this. Oh, it's getting recorded anyway. I will remind you, and it's gonna happen. I don't know the time frame, but before I leave this earth, I will be a billionaire.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
That will be
Thank you.
that's not on some wag me BS, but I think that you have that grind for it.
100%.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I mean, Moishe and Ella, you all just see the future. And I'm telling you, I'm one of those people who don't take no for an answer. So if you say no to me, I'll find a way I'll come back and find, if I have to come back 200 times for you to say yes, somebody will say yes eventually.
That's amazing.
That
I love that.
that is the attitude. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. And what can I say? I've been, really fascinated just listening to you tonight, and it's genuinely one of the best conversations I've had lately. It's
Oh,
been
wow.
lovely, and I'm so impressed by you, and I will be watching you closely. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Ella. Thank you, Moishi. Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been an honor to me. I appreciate that.
Likewise, really appreciate having you here.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Another great episode.
If you haven't already, find us on social media at Unruggable Pod on all socials, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, your favorite podcasting platform.